Well, welcome back to the Hell Road. I am Professor Oleander, and we're continuing on with our new build. It's kind of a late night tonight. I haven't been able to get that much sleep because there's just been too much stuff on my mind, and the rain put me behind, and I'm trying to get stuff done. And you know how it is whenever you can't sleep because your mind just won't stop. So I figured I would keep on playing Railroader. I've got one of my engines coming up here with some of the interchange cars. We got to get this guy right here over here. Swap out these. I have installed a new mod, which is, let me see if I can remember what the name of it is. That's one of them. The other one is this one, Nick's Covered Hopper Enabler. Basically what this does is it enables covered hoppers to be used at certain industries. So like up here at the farm supply in Ella, it allows fertilizer to be loaded into hoppers, and it also takes them. It also, with this one, enables the Whittier sawmill to produce chips, wood chips. And those can be sold at interchange. They can also be sent to the paperboard companies and source of additional revenue. And then this one here, mine production, this increases the storage of mining tools, and it also increases the rate at which cars can be filled up. I think I saw something about 100 cars a day. I'm sure that's at tier 5. We'll see. Among the other things that I have done is, you can see my roster here. I sold number 1. We're all the way up to number 6. Number 6 is an 060. Number 5 is a C55. That is actually an Alarka right now. And I know what you're saying. Very quick turnaround for Alarka when you look that we're only on day 9. The mod that I am running to speed things up is the class 1 continuous delivery. You see that I'm servicing every 2.5 hours. Basically what that means is I am on overdrive as far as the interchange being serviced. So instead of having to wait an entire day to get my phases for the next expansion, I can get all 3 of them in one day. So I'm quickly speeding it up. My plan is to here you see this is the expansion for Alarka, this is for the Y. We're not going to go any further west right now, so we've got just the Fontana Bridge project done. The focus is going to be, we're going to finish up Alarka, we're going to get the copper mine down in here open, and we're going to build the railroad off the back of this, because this is where the money's going to be. And at some point we will start utilizing Walker. We'll build up the the log yard in Whittier, and that will become that'll become our sort of storage area for log and pulpwood, and that'll prepare us for the run to Silva, because eventually we are gonna take over all this track. I don't want to do it right now because it saves a lot of running. So there's our locomotive. We have him selected. So we need to grab this guy out of here, and then we need to put that hopper in its place. And I actually should have dropped these cars off, but that's okay. We'll get it here in just a second. Let me go ahead and put him in manual mode. And we'll couple up and grab this one. I dropped this on the train that was on my 280 headed towards Bryson. I think I just finished servicing Bryson. So if you've watched the other videos from the other railroad, you know that generally speaking, I will run a road freight engine, and then I'll have like every yard will have its own individual engine. that was the plan anyway, until everything got really convoluted because things happened. Uh, the continuous delivery was on. I didn't know it was on. It serviced the interchange. Both interchanges got 40 cars. I ran out of room for stuff, so I was having to take off the handbrake. I was having to shuffle all of my locomotive power around, and I ended up where I just didn't have power where I needed it. So I'm being a little bit more careful with that right now. I am opting for these 060s in place of the C25s, which is what I was using before. I feel like these engines are a little bit more well-rounded than the C25s. I could have gone with the Moguls. The reason why I'm not, the G25 is 11.2. It holds 11 and 5, whereas this one holds 4 and 5, but it's only 97. So it's about $2,000 difference. Not quite. About, I'm trying to save a little bit of money. These are not going to be road engines, so I'm not overly concerned about capacity. And plus, the little bit that I've been playing in the game since the update, coal and water consumption is nowhere near as big of an issue as it was before. So that is not a concern right now. So like I said, I've just opted for these because they're cheaper. I only had one of these before, the 060, and I opted for more of the 080s, and I actually ended up liking the 080s because they're 51,000. They're shorter. They hold 8,000 gallons. The C55 holds 85. The only difference is the coal. They actually hold more coal and just slightly less water, and I didn't even pay attention to how cheap they were. They're 25,000 versus 29, so they're $4,000 per unit cheaper. The main benefit being that they don't hold as much water. They got 500 gallons more of coal. And I don't feel like bringing up my chart, but I've got a power to weight ratio chart, and the C55 actually outweighs it, or it surpasses it in power to weight ratio, as opposed to the 080. So that's why I'm using the C55. The quote-unquote meta for my railroad, because before I was using double-headed C55s as predominantly my workhorses, the way that I can see this going forward is, and I'll have to, somebody made a spreadsheet where you could actually go in and plug in your train weights and all that, so you can figure up your tonnages. But I think what I'm going to end up doing, because this is significantly more tractive effort than what we have here, this is 50, call this one 56, this is 75. So, I mean, you're talking almost 20,000 pounds more of tractive effort. This guy is going to end up becoming my road engine. And probably what I will end up doing is these will double head with probably the C46. If I had to guess, I would say that this one is probably going to be, because what is that combined? That's 46 and 75. So that's 100 and, yeah. And that's almost as much as two of these together. And it's already cheaper because this is 38 and this is 23. I don't want to run a decapod because I've said this in the other video. They don't make a whole lot of sense to me. Even though they are powerful, I'm not a big fan of 10 wheel. This is just a personal thing. So that's 23 and 38. What is that? That's 60, 61. Two of these is 60. So you're getting, for 1,000 more, you're getting quite a bit more. Now, if I bought this one and this one, that's almost $10,000 more, close to it. I'm just rounding numbers. I don't know the actual. But you see what I'm saying? The 46 makes more sense because you're getting just as much power for, you're getting almost as much power for two of them for $10,000 less. Now, I could put two of them together, but quite honestly, that's overkill because you're talking about almost 150,000 foot-pounds of tractive effort for, and then not to mention $76,000. Isn't that what it was? 38 and 38, yeah, $76,000, and that's, what did I say? It's basically 150,000 foot-pounds. And this is 64, 70 of those, yeah. I mean, 150,000 foot-pounds of torque, you could, or tractive effort, you could probably, I'd have to look and see. You could probably take, I don't know, I have to look at my chart. You could take a pretty sizable train over red marble with that. But what I'm anticipating doing is the C55s are gonna probably end up working the coal and the copper mines, and then the Santa Fe and the C46 will end up, they'll end up being the through freight. So they'll be my road engines, and then the C55s will be the mine engines. This is until somebody comes up with the articulated units, which it's been tossed around a few times. I know there is at least one in the works. Not sure when it's going to make it. The last I heard that this was a month or two ago, they were having issues trying to figure out how to make the engines work together to articulate them. You kind of have to do it the way that Train Simulator did, which was that you basically have to make the front engine a separate car, and then it has to couple to the engine in a weird way. But if you, since there's no wheel slip in the game right now, if you wanted to